welcome back. I'm the Reflective Perspective Oracle. My name is Charlene. Today I asked Spirit what kind of pick a card we should do, and I got the card, People will only understand you from the level of perception that they're at. So I think I'm going to label this reading, What's the Deal with You and Them? And it doesn't necessarily need to be romantic. It could be you and a friend. It could be you and your boss, a coworker, your family members, a romantic partner, you against the world, whatever pertains to you at this time. So there are 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1, we have this piece of Shiva's eye. Okay. Pile 2, this piece of Onyx. And pile 3, this piece of Bismuth. Okay. So intuitively choose your pile, whatever you're drawn to. If you're drawn to more than one, that's cool. Timestamps are in the description box. So let's get started with pile number 1. So if you chose pile number 1, this piece of Shiva's eye, let's see what's the deal between you and them. We're using the Mystical Magical Mirror Reflective Perspective deck, of course, and then I've got some supporting roles with other decks here, and we'll get to those in a minute. Okay, pile 1. Okay, remembering that the overall energy of the read is people will only understand you from the level of perception that they're at. So I want to explain that energy a little bit. This card represents when 2 people have come from 2 different backgrounds, 2 different lifestyles, they've grown up differently, different places, different, cultures, different economic backgrounds, different families, that kind of thing, okay? And they've come into each other's lives, but you're now at a place where you are looking at life through different lenses, okay? So maybe you've been with this person a long time, this job, this mindset, what have you, okay? And now all of a sudden you're noticing that you are at different levels of perception, okay? So that's the overall energy. Now, moving on to your cards, you've got Unicorn, asking for a friend, stop giving them the playbook, and ask me again later. So what I'm getting from these cards is that as of late, you have stepped more into this energy, okay? And if you haven't, you're being asked to do so. But I'm getting more that you are, and you already have stepped into this energy. And the Unicorn card speaks about someone who has now or will step into the understanding of their worth, okay? The card also speaks about someone possibly doubting their worth because of their backgrounds, where they came from, economic, social status, all this stuff that goes along with that. But for this particular read, I feel that you have recently stepped into this energy, okay? It's new for you. It's a new thing, and it feels good to you. Okay, and so this is what might be causing a little bit of turmoil between you and another. Again, apply to your life, person, job, relationship, family member, friend, whatever it is for you. Now, because you've stepped into this energy, you might be having a bit of a hard time standing in that energy, like solely and completely, okay? So asking for a friend talks about someone who's able to speak of something, but they're doing it in a joking manner, okay? As if to say, here's my dilemma, but I'm asking for a friend, just to see how the other person would kind of react, because you're still having a little bit of doubt or hesitation surrounding what it is you want to say, who you want to be, who you've become, the new energy that you've stepped into, you see. Now, we've got stop giving them the playbook, and that talks about letting people show you who they truly are without you telling them how to treat you. You know what I'm saying? So when you give someone your playbook, you literally are telling them like, no, this is how I want you to treat me. But if you take that energy away, all you're left with is the authenticity of how that person would be with you, if that makes sense, okay? So it's like, when you pull your energy back and say you stop putting energy into being the first to message someone or the first to call someone or the first to engage with someone else. And then all of a sudden, if you pulled that energy back How much effort are you getting back is what you're being asked to look at here. Now, we've got Ask Me Again Later, and this is a very doubtful energy. It talks about one day being in your knowing fully and completely, and then another day kind of regressing back into an old mindset of like, I don't know if I can get this done, I don't know if I trust this, I don't know if I trust myself, that kind of thing, okay? But I think now that we've explained all that, I think that this is worth giving it a go, okay? This isn't a write-off here for you. Just because you're not at the same level of perception as someone doesn't mean that that makes it end game, right? Like that they need to leave your life, that you need to walk away. It just means that communication is needed, right? Because I keep being drawn to the asking for a friend, and the birds here, they're blue, and that talks about blue is a color of the throat chakra. It needs to be opened and expanded, and it needs to be spoken out loud, right? Because the meaning of the card in itself talks about that there are no stupid questions, and that everything is valid, and that you have a right to feel how you feel, and that you shouldn't have any sort of shame surrounding what it is that you feel or what you want to say to, you know, that person, that job, that boss, what have you, okay? That relationship, you know, add it to your life, however it's playing out for you. Now, as I said, I chose some Angel Answers Oracle cards, and also the Romance Angels Oracle cards. Now, again, remember I said that this wasn't necessarily just about romance. It could be about any sort of relationship. I'm just using some supporting cards to help me get this read out. So let's start with the Angel Answers. So you've got, there's something better, okay? And you've got look for a sign, okay? So look for a sign, I think that really speaks to stop giving them the playbook. So as if to say, you know, look for a sign from this person, place, thing, situation, and to see what it's actually giving back to you, okay? And again, as I said earlier, I don't think that this is a write-off. And because it says there's something better. Now, I mean, again, apply to your life. This could mean look for a sign that this is no longer a person, place, or situation that you want to be with, because again, you are obviously in a place where you're contemplating whether or not it is worth being in this relationship with this person, place, or thing, because you have now come into the realization that you are at different levels of perception. You're thinking differently, right? You've stepped into your full authenticity, your knowing of your self-worth. But because we have there's something better, like I said, it could be because there is something better for you, but I'm not getting that feeling for this pile. I'm getting that there's something better within this relationship, okay? And that you're to look for a sign, and that it will be given to you. There's something better. There's a new level of, there's a new level to this relationship that can be found. That's what I'm getting. There's something better that can be happening between the two of you, whether that, again, whether it be a boss, a coworker, a family member, relationship, platonic or romantic, doesn't matter, okay? I really feel there's a whole new level here that you guys could get to. You just have to have like a certain level of communication, and that'll open up the floodgate for something better to occur between the two of you, okay? So again, we've got some Romance Angel cards. Yeah, look at this. Okay, great. We've got Forgiving and Learning. So again, like I said, if we open up the lines of communication, then forgiving and learning can happen between the two of you, right? It says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment, okay? So exactly. I feel like there's hesitation to speak your truth with this person, place, or thing. I guess you don't, it's a mindset, right? So there's some forgiving and learning that needs to be done, but there can be a new level that's reached between you and this other person, place, or thing, okay? And then, of course, we've got keep an open mind. So I think it's asking you to really, you know, not to throw this relationship away, that there can be work done, there can be something worked out. You just really need to communicate and have that reciprocal kind of reciprocity, I suppose, right? There's no need to doubt it, okay? It's something that you've been, I feel like this is a long time thing, and it's worth it to you to really look for the signs that are important to you, between you and this other individual, whoever that may be for you, and to keep an open mind and to really do the work it takes in order to keep this person in your life. I feel like they will respect you more because you've stepped into your power. You're looking at your worth, and I feel like you just, because this isn't a common energy for you, it's not something that you've experienced your whole life. This is brand new to you, as I said in the beginning. This is why it's causing you hesitation to fully step into your power, to speak your truth constantly as it is now, right? Because remember, you're not required to be who you were even 5 minutes ago. We're always changing, evolving, growing, learning, thinking differently, right? And just because you're now feeling like you're on different levels of perception, that may be so, but here's the thing. We want to step more into unity consciousness, and that doesn't necessarily mean everybody has to think the same way. It means we can think differently and still be a part of each other's lives and love each other unconditionally, regardless of what it is we believe, as long as we hold space for that other person and ourselves to have our own individual opinions. And as I said, there's a whole new level to this that can be reached. There is something better. Oh, sorry. There is something better that can happen here between the two of you. And I think you should really hold tight to that. So that's what I'm getting for you, pile one. Do not, my advice here is that, you know, I mean, this is a planet of free will, so you can do whatever it is that you choose and whatever feels right to you. Always listen to your intuition, right? But I think maybe even this doubt is the part of the doubt is you saying, I don't know if I want to walk away, right? So really listen to your intuition, what is right for you. Look for signs, because Spirit's always giving you signs to let you know what is right for you. That's that communication that you can build even with Spirit, right? So I hope that resonated for you, pile number one. Moving on to pile number two, if you chose this piece of black onyx. Let's see what's the deal between you and them. Okay, pile number two. Let's remember that the, excuse me, the overall energy is people will only understand you from the level of perception that they're at. So this card talks about people coming from different places, different backgrounds, different cultures, social, economic background, whatever, right? It's talking about everybody being from somewhere different, and everybody seeing life or the world through a different lens, okay? And it also talks about how this situation between you and another might be coming to a head because you are now realizing that you may not be at the same level of perception that this other person is at. Now, again, apply to your life. This isn't necessarily romantic. It could be between you and a family member, you and a boss, a coworker, a friend, anything like that, okay? So that's the overall energy. Now, we've got plant some seeds, and plant some seeds talks about how you have planted some seeds, and you have been nurturing them, and your manifestations, okay, the seeds, are growing, and they are about to come to manifestation, and that you're kind of sitting and waiting on that, right? Now, then we have mom, and mom talks about reaching out to others that we love. Actually, now that I think about it, it's quite similar energy to pile one. So the mom card talks about reaching out to those we love. Do you talks about living in your authenticity and continuing to make choices from a very sovereign or autonomous, authentic kind of place, regardless of even what those around us say, especially those we love, okay? Because those we love can very much influence our choices, but this card speaks about really going within and asking what it is that you want, and knowing that by making those choices based on what it is you want, your authenticity, that, you know, everybody else will kind of just follow suit, because it is a choice that you've made from your heart, right? And then, of course, we've got hair straight back, and that talks about going at something full steam ahead from a place of joy and balance, okay? So, pile 2, I think that you planted some seeds with this person, okay? You planted some seeds with this person quite a while ago. And you've been reaching out to them and, you know, sharing your love with them and really, you know, confiding in them and trusting in them. But as of late, you've been able to more step into your authenticity and, you know, that these people, places, situations, that kind of thing, the ones that you love the most, the ones closest to you, they're actually really embracing this version of you, this new version. They're really allowing this to happen. And they're helping you nurture this new version of yourself. And they're really, you know, quite excited about how full steam ahead you are about it. Okay, so I have some angel answer cards here by Doreen Virtue, and I also have some of her romance angel oracle cards that I'm going to use to just add to this situation here. So we've got communicate clearly. Okay, so I feel that that's talking about that you've already been doing it, and if you haven't, you're being asked to do so, okay? To communicate clearly this new version of who you are, all right? And then we've got no need to worry, okay? So again, because the overall energy is people will only understand you from the level of perception that they're at, maybe it's that, you know, you've had an issue with this person and, you know, you're kind of maybe wondering, are they going to accept me? Are they going to love me for who I am? But you're being told here, you know, there is no need to worry as long as you communicate clearly and you keep nurturing these relationships that are all around you and that they do the same with you, okay? From a place of joy and balance, which means really honoring who you are, how much you want to communicate with them. You know, I'm hearing boundaries, right? Respecting yours, respecting theirs, that kind of thing, okay? And then also we've got playfulness, all right? So you're being asked to keep it light, because by keeping it light and really being playful about this situation, oh my goodness, sorry. By keeping it light and being playful about this situation, I feel like these seeds are going to manifest a lot faster if we just, you know, like we're going to go hair straight back on it, full steam ahead, but we're not going to, you know, check our seeds every day. We're not going to go out in the backyard and check our seeds every day. Like, is it growing yet? Is it growing yet? Like that kind of energy. We're just going to keep it light and playful. And we're going to know that as long as we are remaining true to ourselves, communicating clearly, you know, not worrying about the situation and just coming at it from a place of joy and love, that this is all going to manifest as it should, right? And then we've got worth waiting for. So I don't necessarily feel like, if, say for example, you're single and you're waiting for someone, okay, that could talk about how as long as you've planted the seeds, you're waiting for your person, and as long as you're open, you've got your heart open and you're loving and you're coming from an authentic place and you're doing everything in your life from a place of joy, balance, playfulness, you're not worried about it, you're very clearly communicating to anybody who approaches what it is you want, that kind of thing, that, you know, you don't need to worry about whether or not you're at the same level of perception, that it'll all work out and that it is in fact, you know, it's worth waiting for, right? Now, if this is something that's already been established between you and another, I think that, again, like I said, it's kind of the same energy as pile 1, worth waiting for. It's talking about, like, you know, again, maybe your seeds with this person haven't fully blossomed yet, but again, as long as you communicate clearly, you remain playful, you approach it from a place of joy and balance, and you continue to have your boundaries, you live authentically, you're not worried about it, that you and this person, whether it be platonic, romantic, a job, anything, even the way in which you approach the world or you see the world right now, that it doesn't necessarily mean you need to walk away from this person. It means that you're just at different levels of perception and that you can more or less come from a place of more of like a unity consciousness mindset. Now, I explained this to pile one. Unity consciousness, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that we are living where in a place where everybody believes the same thing. No, it means that when you are of a unity consciousness, it means that you hold space and allow for someone else to believe different things than you, and you still can love them and respect them and have like unconditional love for their beliefs. And just because you believe different things doesn't mean you're just gonna, cancel culture them right out of your life, right? Like, it's like, you can believe what you want, I'll believe what I want, we can still love each other and respect each other from that mindset, right? So I think that that's what you're being asked to do. Just keep communicating clearly with this person, place, or thing. Have your heart wide open about it from a place of joy and balance. Boundaries, definitely boundaries, but keep it playful. There is no need to worry, okay? And whatever it is, the weight here, it's not necessarily saying that it isn't something that you have yet, but waiting for these manifestations to come about, waiting for these seeds to blossom, waiting for these roses to bloom. Does that make sense, right? So I think you're in a good spot. I think this is more about, for you, pile two, I think this is more about just that, really embracing that unity consciousness and understanding that not everybody's going to believe the same things as you, but it doesn't mean that you have to, cancel them and that they can't be a part of your life. Not everybody in your life is going to believe the same things, but you can still have a beautiful relationship with this person. Keep it light and playful. It can still work out. You can legitimately have a unity consciousness and still be very happy in that. So I hope that resonated for you, pile number two. And finally, if you chose pile number three, this piece of bismuth, let's see what's the issue between you and them. What's going on between you and them? Pile three. Because the overall energy is people will only understand you from the level of perception that they're at, I feel as though as of late, you've been really trying to balance out your emotions. Okay, you're trying to step out of this chapter that you've been in for a long time, which was quite possibly to negate your emotions, as if to say you used to think that being vulnerable was weak. Okay, and now you're stepping into this new energy of, look, I'm done with that. Okay, because that wasn't giving me what I wanted. It wasn't reciprocating any sort of value or depth. I was just kind of getting surface level relationships, quite possibly with people that were at very different levels of perception, quite possibly to the level of perception of who you truly are. Does that make sense? So like you were having very surface level relationships, whereas now you're kind of like searching for that deep reciprocal relationship based on who it is that you truly are now, right? The authentic version of you, the one that you're stepping into by really opening up and becoming vulnerable, and sharing your love in a big way with yourself and with others. Because again, I'm being drawn to the two heads here, the scales and the two hearts, right? So this, obviously, this whole reading, you versus them, what's going on between you and them. I can't really remember what I called this reading. Yeah, you versus them, what's the issue between you and them? Again, this could be a platonic relationship, romantic, a job, a boss, apply to your life, right? So, because you are stepping into your vulnerability more, you're leaving this chapter behind, or if at very least you want to, okay? You want to start loving more authentically. You want to start showing your love to yourself and others in a really big way that brings back love in a reciprocal manner. Like, I don't know what is with me today. Too much coffee, maybe. A reciprocal manner, okay? Which means there's an equal give and take. The quality of the pie is cherries, right? It is top notch. You're not wanting to read the chapter anymore where you're just getting superficial stuff, okay? Now, this could be something like you're already with someone, obviously. Not necessarily romantic, but it could be a friend. It could be a coworker, a boss. This could be a family member. And you might be realizing that, maybe you've moved up a level. Like maybe, you're moving on and they're wanting to kind of still stay in this kind of surface level relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. This card, you know, the biggest message that's come through for all three piles today is unity consciousness, which means we don't all have to see from the same level. Like, unity consciousness doesn't mean everybody believes the same thing. No, it means we can all believe something different and still respect each other, right? So I don't necessarily feel like, I mean, this could go either way for you. All three piles have really talked about it is your choice to walk away from this person, place, situation. You literally, it's a planet of free will. You're allowed to choose for yourself what is right for you. And if you feel like it's time for you to move on from this relationship, whatever type of relationship it is for you, then that's cool. But it could just mean that you can stay in this relationship, but start a new way of being in it, right? By really being vulnerable, opening up, communicating, letting go of that old chapter that doesn't allow you to express yourself, to express your love in a big way, and showing that, you know, by giving out that energy, you're going to receive it back. So maybe they were the catalyst, maybe you were the catalyst. Either way, doesn't matter. It's a new level, right? That's a possibility. There's a new level in this relationship. Or you could be totally moving on to a new, right? So I've got some Angel Answer Oracle cards from Doreen Virtue, and I've also got some Romance Angel Oracle cards, so just to help me clarify here. So we've got choose a new direction, okay? We've got in the near future, okay? And we've got yes, all right? So, as I was just saying, I feel like in the near future, you're going to step into this energy of choosing a new direction, whether that be with a new person or a new direction within the relationship you're already in, right? Because even if you are to leave this person, right? I feel like you're going to be able, because you're stepping more into your vulnerability, you're going to be able to better understand why this person came into your life, that they taught you what it is you want instead of what you don't, and that you're having full-on unconditional love and compassion for them. You're not going to hold on to the emotions that would normally, you know, how you played out before in chapter 7 normally kept you stuck in that loop of you know, emotional baggage that surrounds when you leave a person, place, or thing, right? You know, that anger that you attach to the story of what was, right? I'm being drawn to the book here, the story of what was. You'll be able to move on in a new direction knowing that they served you and that you're able to thank their soul for coming into your life and showing you this new way of being, right? Or this new level of what it is that you want, right? So that's available to you in the near future. Or you're going to be able to start a new direction with the person that you're with, depending on what it is that you choose, right? And again, we have this confirmation here, just yes, either way, whatever it is that you choose, right? Because this is a planet of free will. You are allowed to choose whatever it is that you want, right? As long as it's reciprocal. Again, see the sun and the earth here, the two minds, the two hearts, the balance. We're just looking for balance in this pile. That's what we're saying. Now, I pulled some Romance Angels cards, and we also got chemistry, okay? There's a strong magnetic attraction here, so I think that this is speaking to that, again, this person was brought into your life to, there was a magnetic pull between the two of you, whether that be a friendship, romance, what have you, doesn't matter, could even be a job. There was a strong magnetic pull to get you into this relationship or this situation, to raise your level of perception, right? You felt the chemistry, you felt the attraction to this situation. And, you know, it brought you to a new level of perception within yourself, within this relationship, and whether that is to leave or to stay, either way, right? And then we've got stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So again, not necessarily just a romantic thing. You can apply that to any relationship in your life. So staying optimistic about this, knowing that whether you stay or whether you go, by staying optimistic, knowing that you'll step into this next chapter regardless, because you are becoming more vulnerable. You are showing your love in a big way. You are allowing your energy to reach out to only things that are reciprocal, right? So staying optimistic about that will help. And also, again, if you are going to choose to stay with this, within this situation, to stay optimistic about that, and to really know that by letting your walls down and by being vulnerable, you can step out of that chapter by showing yourself and the other person more love. Because the more we respect ourselves, the more others seem to love us as well, right? And then there's that reciprocity. And then we've got new love. So again, as I said, it's either going to manifest as a new love between the two of you, a whole new level of love. It's amazing. All three piles were very similar today. It's either going to manifest as a new level of love within the relationship that you choose to stay in, okay, because you choose to see this from a unity consciousness. Myself and this person do not necessarily need to see exactly eye to eye in order for us to love each other, right? In order for us to respect each other. Okay? It doesn't mean we need to think the same. And if not, and you do choose to walk away from this person, friend, boss, what have you, job, you'll be able to find new love, a new situation, right? Where your chemistry, the chemistry will be there. You'll recognize it. It'll be in alignment with you. It'll be balanced, right? It'll be part of the new chapter. That's beautiful, pile 3. I think just the reiteration of this message here, okay? Unity consciousness. Understanding why people came into your life, knowing that you don't have to hold on to any baggage that surrounds this. You can literally thank the person, place, situation for what it brought to you. It showed you what you wanted instead of what you didn't. Find the gratitude for that. And then you can gracefully move on in an unconditional love mindset. Now, if that's not the case and you're not moving on, then it will also teach you that you can literally have people in your life that do not believe the same thing, but you can still love them as long as you're both coming from a very balanced place of vulnerability, respecting one another's thoughts and opinions, knowing that it takes two, it takes communication, it takes both of you thinking in a very positive and optimistic mindset about moving your relationship into a new direction, right? Not staying stuck in that chapter 7. So that was a whole lot of words to say this is all going to work out either way. And I hope that that helped you in some way, pile 3. That's beautiful energy. You might have resonated with pile 1 or 2. You could get more clarity if you chose another pile as well. So I hope that resonated with you. Thank you so much for being here, pile 3. Thank you, everybody, if you're still here, for coming back to my page. I super appreciate your energy. You are all wonderful beings. Thank you for your likes and your shares and your comments. Thank you so much for being here. If you're interested in our deck, please feel free to send me a message. I'd be more than happy to help you get your own. My email is in the description box, or you can just direct message me, depending on what platform you're watching this on. Also, if you're interested in a private reading, I'm here for that too. I'm a big fan of helping those really look inside at what it is that might be plaguing them, and because I'm a big advocate for doing it myself. Remember, the more you work on yourself, the more you're causing the ripple effect in consciousness, right? It ripples out and it affects the whole world. So thank you guys for coming back. I appreciate you all. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.